Hi, I'm Peter Harris, the Executive Director of Future Students at UTS College. We've had our campus and partnership in Chittagong now since May last year. And the idea behind it is that for students to do the UTS first year in country and then transition to second year in Sydney.
Welcome to Dhaka.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
I have some couple of basic questions. What I expect a brief from you. Basically, I've just learned that UTS is opening one-year session here, and students will transfer to Sydney. So why it's needed 1 year in home country?
That's a very good question. So hi, I'm Peter Harris, the Executive Director of Future Students at UTS College. We've had our campus and partnership in Chittagong now since May last year. And the idea behind it is that for students to do the UTS first year in country and then transition to second year in Sydney. The reasons for it are, well, firstly, students can save and parents can save money because they pay local fees instead of the fees they'd pay in Sydney. The other main reason is it gives them one more year of maturity, a year to get used to the technical nature of the course, a year to get used to how we deliver and teach in Australia, so that different way of learning. And so they're familiar with the systems we have, the way of learning, the course content. So when they do go to Australia, when they do go to Sydney, they've got that all behind them, and then they've just got to get accustomed to living away from home and the challenges that presents. So we find the students that do this pathway in country are really well prepared for that transition to Sydney when they arrive.
Why is the collaboration with Premier and Chittagong? Why is not capital?
Very good question. So we do intend to have a partnership here in Dhaka as well. We started off in Chittagong just because we could find the right university partner at the time, and working through Dr. Arif and the team at Berry. But there is plans to extend that to Dhaka in the near future, to have 2 locations for students. I think over half the students in Chittagong come from outside of the city itself. But of course, Dhaka is the capital and it's a great catchment area. So there'll be a second campus, hopefully sometime next year here in Dhaka.
Can we get an idea how long time it will take to open a campus around Dhaka?
Very good question. So look, if we found someone today, it normally takes about 12 months before you can start teaching. That's because there's a number of approval processes, both here and in Australia, to make sure the partnership's set up the right way through the UGC, or the University Grants Commission, in Dhaka and Bangladesh, and in Australia, the equivalent in Australia. And then you need some time in market, probably 6 months, to educate the market and get that first cohort of students. So it's probably 12 months from signing to when you start teaching. So I would say we're probably 3 to 4 months away from that start date, and then 12 months after that. So sometime in 2025.
What things are you focusing on first year stage?
3 areas that Bangladesh students study in Australia and study at UTS and do very well at UTS. Business, IT and engineering, and they're the most popular subjects. IT particularly is very popular now because of the graduate outcomes. So students studying IT have got a very strong chance of getting good jobs when they finish their study at UTS and then go off into their careers. The really favoured areas now are cybersecurity, artificial intelligence and data analytics, as well as the traditional computer sciences. So IT, business is always strong. Bangladesh students do particularly well in business studies, and that leads to a wide range of majors, from marketing to finance to data to even to law. So a broad base of options within business, and IT and engineering, the 3. We're also seeing an increased interest into more creative fields as well. Surprisingly to some, that a lot of Bangladesh students do design and areas in fashion and textile, which of course in Bangladesh is a very large garment industry, as you know. So, but the big ones are business and IT.
I mean to say, what will a student learn in Bangladesh before admitting into the Sydney direction?
Very good question. So the course here is exactly the same as university first year, exactly the same subjects, exactly the same study outcomes. So it's quality assured, so it's exactly the same course we deliver in Sydney, we deliver in Sri Lanka, we deliver in Gujarat, or we deliver in Bangladesh. So same outcome. So they learn not just the technical nature of the course, but more importantly, they learn those really key language and study skills. how to be an independent learner, how to communicate, how to collaborate, how to work in a group. So those soft skills, which is so important for students, both in their study, outside of their study, and in their career. So the technical and the soft skills at the same time.
There is a process between first year in Bangladesh and second and third year in Melbourne.
Sydney, yes.
Sydney. So how will the student will get benefits from you to get into Sydney?
That's a very good point. And so our partner here, Berry and Dr. Arif, their team, and they're also working with our great education agents here in Bangladesh, make sure that the students are prepared for their visa applications and the transition to UTS. And equally, when they arrive in UTS, we've got a very strong onboarding and orientation program for those students who are coming into second year from this partnership and all of our other partnerships. I would say that visa success is something that's outside of our control and the partner's control, but we do all the things we can to make sure that the students have got everything in order to get the best chance of a visa approval. And at the moment in Bangladesh, the approval rates are still very high. And also the Australian government does look favourably on a student that has studied here first and shows real commitment to their Australian pathway for that subsequent visa approval.
How UTS prepares students for future job markets?
Very good question again. And we're very proud at UTS not only to be a very high ranked university, we're ranked 88th in the world, but it's more so for our graduate outcomes. Ranked 4th in Australia for students who study with the UTS and then get good graduate outcomes in their chosen field. So we've got that experience and reputation, but we've also got strong career advice and career placement centre at UTS Careers. So students, when they arrive, can get help with preparing CVs, going for interviews. Twice a year we have local employees and industry come to the campus to meet prospective students, the students to be prospective employees. So a great connection with industry and preparing the students for all the skills they need to get a job and to present themselves in the best possible light. Equally, we have internships in all of our programs, so students in their second and third year, and even the students in Chittagong get work experience by internships with industry players.
Okay, what do you think? Why is Bangladeshi students should choose UTS for higher studies?
Very good question again. Look, I think UTS is a unique combination of reputation because it's so highly ranked, but equally it's got great graduate outcomes. So it's a great industry, it's a work-ready, practical course with industry leaders. So it gives them not just that reputation, but that real readiness to get a job and use that for the investment they and the parents are making to get a return on that investment. And it's right in the heart of Sydney, right in the creative heart of Sydney. So it's easy to get to with an amazing campus. So I think those three things, where it's located, its graduate outcomes and its reputation.
Okay, I have learned from your website that there are some financial waiver for international students.
Yes.
Both here and both Sydney. So do you have any plan to reduce more or give more waiver?
Look, so there are scholarships available both here and at UTS in Sydney. At the moment, the scholarship in Sydney is 15% of all of their study at the university, which is a very generous discount, if you like, and it can be up to 50 to 30% depending on the academic standard of the students. So I think those two are a really good benefit for students, 15% for all students and then 30% for the really strong, excellent students. What that looks like in the far future, who knows, but for the time being, as far as we can see, that support will be in place.
Okay, my last question. Do you think recent decision by the Australian government regarding visa policy and also visa fee, today I have learned visa fee increased. So do you think the student will manage?
It's a very good question again. Look, I think what the market wants to see and what the Bangladesh students and parents want to see is certainty. So I think the more clarity and certainty we give to students, the better. And at the moment, there's been a lot of change. So I think that will settle down. And the sooner that does, the better for all concerned. I've been in this industry or sector for a long time, and we do see this comes and goes. But good students through our good agents and quality students from quality, from great schools and universities will always have a place in Australia, and Australia is such a high quality provider. All of our universities are in the top 500. We've been doing international education for a long time. We're great at doing it. So I think we need to take a long-term view of it, but I do appreciate the disruption and uncertainty that is happening at the moment. But we all look forward to things settling down very soon.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.